I started at Chico State in fall of 1966 when Tim Tregarthen and Karen Angel came in on a campaign to create CAVE, is what came from there. But they were running for president and vice president of the Associated Students, and they wanted to have a program which became named CAVE, and they can tell you about the story from the allegory of the cave, literally. And then they came up with that. They wanted to use that, and then they came up with the name. They had CAVE in there, so they wanted community, ended up coming with community action, volunteers, and education.
Because I had redone the logo when I was student president. It just used to say Associated Students on the letterhead. I thought it should say something more, and I'd met this amazing graphic artist named Greg Berryman. So I went back to see him, and we would have staff meetings, and he would talk to us about what we thought we were doing and things. And he came with the 4 arrows. 4, point out, 2, point in. We were reaching out and we were improving ourselves. So we were thinking about ourselves, learning ourselves, teaching each other, but reaching out to take our experiences, our ideas, and even just ourselves by helping.
But yeah, it meant a lot to us, that this idea of in and out, of being a group, but all being, being individuals, but being tied together, having direction, but that direction going all over the place, whatever you want to do with it. But I thought a pretty powerful symbol.
You learn something, whether it's a positive experience or a negative experience. You always go away with something. And so for me, those arrows were those, there's the central, and you can either go this way, or you could go this way, or you could go that way, but you're going to go somewhere from the experience. You're going to learn something from that experience.
I will give this quote to Jim Jesse. He probably knows it was someone else in history, but it was always like, life is for learning. And you go to school to get educated, you do things to live. So he was all about that, to do it.
Alan Barter was this wonderful artist and poet guy who came up with the motto for us, which was, life is for learning, some don't have a chance, CAVE helps. And that became our motto.
The motto, life is for learning, it stuck with me my whole life, actually, because I think it's just such a foundation. One of the things that I think is really, really special about CAVE is that it's an environment for a student to be able to learn in and to make mistakes part of the process.
We had this whole idea that life is for learning, some don't have a chance, CAVE helps both of you. The client, for sure, that's what we're doing programs around, but it helps you, the volunteer, grow, learn, discover how to apply your skills, have questions, go back and make your education useful. We had a whole big deal on this.
Life is for learning, not just for the volunteers, but for the people who the volunteers are going in and the lives that they're touching. I mean, for me, I go back and I think the first time I went to Napa State Hospital or Sonoma State or Veterans, or the first time I went into a classroom, those were all just really, they shaped who I am.
I use, that phrase comes out of my mouth more times over all these years that I've traveled and taught and things like that. Life is for learning. Couldn't be a more perfect thing for the experience that the students are getting now and back then, because that experiential, the experiential experience, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. You can't beat the friendships you make. You can't beat the validation of working at something that means something, and then you just absorb it, and pretty soon it pops up in your life as you go along.
Life is for learning for me is like every day I'm taking a new aspect and looking like, how can I be a better boss? How can I improve a tour? How can I create a program that connects to volunteerism? What can I do to serve the population? What can I donate to I may not be able to volunteer, but can I donate to a local school a raffle item so that they can have people and be able to continue their programs on? So for me, I think every day that motto and that mantra really lives through what I do.